Hello, welcome to this week's issue of my Clarendon Insights 2-minute takeaway on topical issues of the day. As I speak, we are awaiting the reaction to the tariffs discussions which have been going on in recent times. And it affects the stock market, and many people have pensions and equities invested in the stock market. And it got me thinking about an acquisition that I actually executed 25 years ago. And the reason for that is that we used our own capital, our own shares, to assist in that acquisition. So if that was happening now, we would have had a risk analysis done in terms of the impact it would have on the price of the acquisition. Lots of things can happen when doing an acquisition. That would be just one of them in this case. If I go back 25 years, let's ask the question, do acquisitions add value or do they destroy value? And the reason, again, I think about this at the moment is that I'm doing a strategic review for a business at the moment. And one of the options that this business has is to execute a buy and build strategy. My experience of acquisitions, for what it's worth, the majority of them that I executed created value, but some didn't. So what were the hallmarks of the one 25 years ago, which was by some distance the most successful one that I was involved with? It was also the most expensive one that I ever did. The reason it worked, the due diligence was good. The lawyers behaved themselves and they took advice from the principals. Key, the culture was excellent throughout. And that was demonstrated post-acquisition as well. Lots of things happened. And this was an acquisition, by the way, that we were told by the vendor that we were not big enough to execute and we wouldn't be able to afford it. Some 25 years later, I reflect on that acquisition as being transformational for the business of which I was CFO at the time. Lots of people created lots of value from that acquisition. I do, however, have to ask myself, what were the hallmarks of the unsuccessful acquisitions? Going back to my previous answer, culture was wrong in one of the acquisitions I'm thinking of. It was actually one of the smaller ones, but it took the same length of time to execute as the largest one. The due diligence wasn't great. The disclosures weren't great. What do I take out of this? If we're in business and we're pursuing an acquisition, there are lots of reasons not to do that. Ego, bored, lots of things. The due diligence is too tiresome. Rely on your own intelligence. The reason to do an acquisition is to create value, and that's at the heart of it. What one thing must we have to make those acquisitions work? A great culture, cultural fit. And many businesses nowadays do due diligence on the management and the way that they will integrate into a wider group of businesses. Acquisitions can destroy value, they can create value. Choose carefully. This has been my 2-minute takeaway on topical issues of the day. Next time, Clarendon Insights next week. Same as usual on a Tuesday. Bye for now.